Welcome to How We Can Connect Kids, Parents, and Video Games. And I'm Elka Haggerty, and I'm a dialogue facilitator at ProcessWorks. So, John G. Bennett said, since we tend to see ourselves primarily in the light of our intentions, which are visible to others, while we see ourselves mainly in the light of their actions, which are all that's visible to us, we have a situation in which misunderstandings and injustice are the order of the day. So how can we overcome that? I use nonviolent communication for this purpose. And so imagine a situation where we have a parent who asks a child to turn off video games and come wash the floors. And not surprisingly, the child continues playing. So how do we respond to this? Well, we can use, power over kind of dynamic, like, come on, you're going to do this right now, turn that off, or I'm taking that away from you. Or we can use power under. Oh, fine, they'll never do it anyway. I do all the work around here. I'll give up. And then we do it ourselves and we feel resentful. And it's not connecting. Do we feel closer to our children this way? No. Do our children feel closer to us if we use power over? I don't think so. So how can we build a connection and get more collaboration? Well, let's start by looking at the parent's perspective. We check in with ourselves first. So, for example, if we notice we're impatient, maybe we're annoyed, we might need some support or to be heard, to have some ease, and we might want some connection. So imagine that we feel more peace of mind and more settled when we have a clean house. We'd like to have some support for that because we're tired after working for a week and we want some collaboration. We want to teach our kids some skills too. That gives us some peace of mind. So we connected with that, and then maybe we want to have some fun afterwards. We feel good. It's like, yes, let's go have some fun. Do our kids know this perspective? I don't know. But checking in with ourselves is a great starting point because it can give us a sense of clarity about what we really need and what we want to ask for. Then we look at our child's perspective. You can imagine that playing video games might be more fun than coming to mop the floors. Maybe they're dismayed, like, here I'm being asked to do this again. Maybe some irritation if we want them to shut it off right now because they're in the middle of this exciting, episode and they're almost at this next level and they've worked so hard for it. They don't want to shut it down right now. The games might give them a sense of aliveness and a sense of competence, like, look, I made it, which is, hard to get in the real world in some ways. So it makes sense that they're, enjoying this, they're building their competence and they're, out there having fun. So what do we do with that? Well, if we want to start a dialogue with our kids, instead of saying, come do it right now, or fine, I give up, we can say, hey, I imagine this is really fun for you. And, you're getting a sense of accomplishment. It's really feeling alive and exciting. And I get that. And I'd like that for you too. And then we share our own needs. And I'm also, wanting to get some support because I'm tired working from working all weekend. And I'm excited about the idea of doing something together later, but I don't really get the sense of, contentment and peace, if I have to do that with a messy house. I really wanted to clean up the house first. So would you be willing to help us? You can also do another chore if there's one that excites you more. Have a little more dialogue about it, back and forth, and to reach a point where you're like, oh, I get it. This is what's important. So for example, with my, daughter, I didn't want to empty the dishwasher one day because my back was really hurting and it hurt to bend over. So, at first she said no, she didn't want to do the dishwasher. And then I explained, I said, I would do it and I'd really like it to, to be clean and to get the counter clean, but my back's really hurting. And whenever I lean over, I get a stab in my back. And she's like, oh, no, don't do it then, Mom, I'll do it. She could connect with my needs to have that sense of order, but also to be comfortable and not be in pain. So we get this internal shift happening. What's our next step then? Well, we can do some brainstorming. We get each other's needs, we understand what's important. How can we make that happen? So for example, if they agree to mop the floors, maybe there's a way to make it more fun. Maybe we put on music with it, or we have some kind of a competition. Somebody starts upstairs, somebody starts downstairs, we see who's the fastest. Something that could make it a little bit more fun And, you know, with the idea that we might do something together later, it could be even more exciting. So we get a little bit more buy-in. People want to help, and we don't get that resentment from making it happen or from doing it ourselves. So that's just a little bit of piece on how we can use nonviolent communication to, you know, get collaboration at home, to understand each other and feel connected and have that solid kind of relationship that I imagine as parents we all long for. There's some more information on my website, www.process-works.ca, and I also have an offering coming up through the Compassionate Communication Center of Ohio called Building Foundations of Warmth, Trust, and Collaboration with Children, Level 1, where we go through all those elements, some of which I touched on today: observations, our feelings and needs, doing some brainstorming, and making a request. Hope to see you there. Bye.